beautiful friends, it's Amanda here. Today we're talking about one of my favorite things, and that is eyeshadow palettes. Specifically, neutral eyeshadow palettes. Specifically, even more specifically, underrated neutral palettes that are under $30. Does that seem oddly specific? Maybe so. We're just going with it, okay? In the beauty world, the YouTube beauty world, there's a lot of hype that goes around. I've said this in the past, and I do stand by this. A lot of the products that get really hyped up typically do deserve the hype. However, sometimes the hype machine misses out on some really, really great products for one reason or another. There are some really amazing eyeshadow palettes that have performed wonderfully for me. Great quality, great formulas, great packaging, great price point, and they just didn't really get that wave of praise that I think they definitely deserve. So I'm going to be sharing with you today 5 underrated neutral palettes. They're all on the smaller side, and big bonus, they're all less than $30 a piece. I'm not really going to put them in any particular order. I've just got my little stack over here and I'm going to just go through the stack. I am going to show you swatches of all of these palettes. Some of them I've spoken about on my channel before or done reviews or something along those lines. And some of them just, even I failed to really give them the praise they deserve. That's all changing today, and we're starting with this little palette. I have mentioned this on my channel, but I never did a dedicated video. This is a collaboration between Catrice Cosmetics and Iman. This is the Bronzed AF palette. I don't know if you can tell, but mine has received quite a bit of love. We've got every neutral that you could ever hope for in here. A great balance of light, medium, and deeper shades. Great balance of finishes. 5 mattes, 4 shimmers. There's a little mirror in here. It's cardboard packaging. It's all magnetic. And it's only $12. I didn't have super high hopes for this palette when I first purchased it. Catrice didn't really have the best track record formula-wise for me. I was blown away from the first time I swatched this. I have consistently been using and loving this palette. This is great for travel. It's great as a companion palette. It would definitely be an excellent starter palette, either for somebody who's younger or if you're just getting into makeup. This is all around just a wonderfully created little palette. I never really heard a lot of people speak about it, but it's so good. It's such a good little neutral palette. I think sometimes neutral palettes get passed over because we have so many of them, we've seen so many of them, but I feel like this one just deserves its day in the sun. It's such a good little palette. Congratulations to Iman, the collaborator. Iman, congratulations to her because this palette's awesome. Good job, girl. Good job. Next up is this Kaleidos Futurism 2 Cyber Bronze palette. I have spoken about these Kaleidos palettes a little bit here and there on my channel. I mean, first of all, this packaging is so interesting and beautiful. This one is another with cardboard packaging. It does have a little magnetic closure. There is a little mirror inside. I don't find the mirror on this one to be super useful, but it doesn't even matter because these eyeshadows are so good. I can't really explain to you how beautiful the texture of Kaleidos shadows are. The mattes are super silky. They're like butter. They blend beautifully. They're not so opaque and so soft that they explode everywhere when you dip a brush into them. There's just such a good balance, and the metallics. I have to take a breather when I think about how these metallic shades, just simply a swatch, when you just, the way that these metallic shades apply is a thing of beauty. So let's take a look inside here. This is the Cyber Bronze palette. We have 3 mattes, 3 shimmers, and this is a very neutral color scheme. As you can see, we've got some brown mattes, we've got this little rose gold shimmer, but there's kind of a twist here. We have a really gorgeous red metallic and then a silvery, almost blue silver metallic. So these do add just a little bit of a twist. They still work really well within this neutral realm. But if you've seen anything from Kaleidos, you know there's always something a little bit funky, a little bit edgy going on with their color schemes. This palette is priced at $24. I know that seems like a lot for 6 shadows, but the details of the packaging, the formulas, the blendability, just how useful and beautiful this little palette is, in my opinion, it's worth every single penny. And if you're looking for a neutral palette that could definitely give you a quick, easy, you know, work appropriate everyday eye, or could also give you something a little bit more spicy, a little bit more funky, edgy, this palette is what you're looking for. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. The third palette on my list comes from a brand that I feel like the whole brand doesn't get enough hype, and that's Wander Beauty. This is the Wanderess Rush palette. Wander Beauty is more well known for their complexion products. Personally, I really love their mascara. I've been hooked on their lip oil for a while. They make skin, body products, but they don't get a lot of hype for their color cosmetics. And I think that's a shame because this little palette, it's priced at $25. It has 6 shadows in here. Again, we have cardboard packaging, magnetic closure, little mirror. The packaging's really pretty. When we look inside here, we have 2 matte shades inside here. They're both more cool toned, so if you feel like you're missing a cool toned neutral palette, this could be a fun option for you. There's a champagne and a gold shade, which are very classic neutral palette type of colors. And then a little bit of a twist here. There's a reddish shade, an olive green shade. Now these still read very neutral in the context of this whole palette, but it is nice to have that option to add just a little bit of color, especially shades like these, which are very comfortable for people who are not comfortable with color. And of course the formulas on these, again, super soft. The mattes are not at all dry. They have a softness, a silky quality to them. Even doing an all matte look with these 2 shades is such a beautiful, very elegant, cool toned type of neutral look. And then these metallic shades, I'm not kidding you, they are so soft, so lovely. Just feeling them, they almost feel like a Super Shock shadow. I don't know why Wander Beauty eyeshadow palettes aren't getting more hype, because the quality is so high with these palettes. And a big part of Wander Beauty's whole aesthetic, the whole idea behind their brand, is having few really high quality, really useful things. This is the perfect little palette for somebody who is that one makeup bag, grab and go, only owns like 1 or 2 eyeshadow palettes in your life. I can very easily see this being that staple palette that person just uses up. That's how my mom is. She buys 1 eyeshadow palette and uses it up and then buys 1. And I could see her absolutely loving this palette and loving sort of stepping into those olive green and red type of colors via a palette like this. And Wander Beauty is just a really great company anyway, so very underrated. Such a good palette, very underrated. Check it out. Were you guys just waiting for a Lorac palette to pop up on here? Lorac is another one like Wander Beauty where the whole brand is just super underrated. I've been saying for years that the Lorac Pro eyeshadow formula is one of the best eyeshadow formulas on the market, period. It has been for years. And today I want to recommend the Unzipped Brazen palette to you. This is another one that's priced at $25. Cardboard packaging, magnetic closure, little mirror. This one even comes with a little dual-ended brush. This is everything you need all in one palette. So we have 5 shades here, 2 mattes, 2 shimmers, and then 1 kind of satiny, shimmery shade. I really love this pop of coral in the center here. This is another sort of neutral with a twist palette. You could easily omit this shade and do a very classic standard neutral eye, or you can add this in and, you know, have a little fun with it. It's like Neutral eye goes to a party. I love that. I also want to point out that this shade here called Unbuttoned has a little bit of a shift to it. I wouldn't say that it's fully a duochrome. It's a champagne shade, but it does have a flash of brighter warm gold in there. Definitely a high quality, super useful, super reliable little neutral palette. Rarely, if ever, am I disappointed with a Lorac palette. The larger unzipped palettes are a lot more well known, and then these little mini versions that they came out with just didn't really hit the big time on YouTube. But this unzipped Brazen palette is one of my faves. The fifth and final palette on my little list here is the Teddy Girl palette from Butter London. This is one that I did a full review on. I had a couple of critiques for this palette, mostly that I felt that these two shades were super repetitive and I was just wishing for something else in place of one of these lighter shades. But quality-wise, this palette is stunning. This is sort of a rosy twist on a neutral palette. We've got some really beautiful rosy pinky tones down here, definitely some more staple neutral colors up top, and then we have this little duochrome shade here, which is just so super cool. This is such a fun little neutral palette. I think the packaging is really cute. The shades and the layout, the packaging, it's all a really interesting twist on a neutral palette. This one is priced at $28, but I've seen it go on sale now and then on the Kohl's website. I really want to see some more eyeshadow palettes from Butter London because the formula and the creativity here really worked for me, and I hope that we'll see more in the future. But for now, if you're looking for a rosy berry neutral palette, this may be the one that you're missing, and she's cute. She's cute. Certainly this isn't every single one of my favorite neutral palettes. Definitely not all of the underrated neutral palettes that there are in the world, but these were 5 that I felt really deserve some attention, especially if you don't have a huge budget but you're looking to add to your collection. These are some really great options. I highly recommend all of them. I would love to hear what your favorite neutral palettes are. Do you just love a palette that you feel didn't get its due praise? I always love to hear what you guys think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! That was so weird. It's the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today, and I'm not kidding, I took about 3 minutes to do this little eye look. I know it's nothing crazy artistry wise, but it blended well, it applied easily, it looks good, all the colors work well together. It's just, I love it. That's all I have to say. I just love it. Clearly, because here it is in this video. I really have a way with words, don't I? You can find it at Sephora. I don't know who I'm talking to now because I'm clearly not talking to the camera. I'm just talking to myself. It's fine. Palette ASMR. I should have worn this one because that coral would have looked cute with my sweater. Whew. Swatching these shimmers is just... Gotta calm myself down. I start to feel some feelings in here. Okay. I'm fine. I'm good. I was trying to say final and fifth at the same time. It is both, to be fair. Did I do it? Did I finish? Did I do okay? There's been so much background noise lately. I'm sorry, guys. There's just lawn mowing. Everybody's still home, which is great. It's just loud. Got dogs and kids, and my husband didn't realize until I showed him some footage because my studio's in the basement, so when they walk upstairs, their footsteps are like coming through the ceiling so loudly, and I don't think he realized that. What can you do? Just gotta roll with it. Just gotta roll with it. Anyway, I'm talking to myself. Fellow parents, you understand. Send White Claw. Okay. Anyway, love you guys. Love your face. Please stay home if you can. Wear your mask, please. Wash your hands. I love your face so much and I want your face to stay healthy. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.